Hi everyone, I'm Jim Crowley, Chairman Pro-Tem of the San Juan County Commission. I'm going to take my mask off so it's a little easier to hear. Thanks for joining us today. I'm joined by Jeff Bourgeois, President and CEO of San Juan Regional Medical Center, and via Zoom, City of Farmington Mayor Nate Duckett. I want to start out and talk about Memorial Day. This year, Memorial Day will be unlike any in all of our lifetimes. However, what has not changed is that Memorial Day is the time to honor the brave men and women who fought and died in service to our country. Many have paid the ultimate price, and many families broken, and it is those who never left the battlefield that we remember. Once called Decoration Day, I encourage you to post an American flag outside this weekend, and when you hang that flag, remember those who made it possible. At San Juan County, we are proud to have a monument to those who fought and died for our country right outside the administration building. Stop by anytime and read the names and pay your respects. In the current pandemic situation, we have seen the results of our work in slowing the spread of the virus in recent days. Our diligent efforts in wearing masks, keeping our distance from others, and washing our hands is making a difference. Thank you for doing your part. Now for some more information on the situation from San Juan Regional Medical Center, Jeff Bourgeois. Let's start with you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jim. I'd like to start this morning with acknowledging our wonderful San Juan County Commission and County Manager Mike Stark. We really appreciate their gesture of kindness and support this morning by delivering over 800 breakfast burritos to the hospital staff this morning. We appreciate that, Jim, and I had mine about mid-morning. It was delicious. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd also like to give a huge shout out to the San Juan Regional Medical Center EMS service. This year marks 2 consecutive years that we have received, on behalf of our EMS service, the American Heart Association Mission Lifeline EMS Gold Plus Award. That's the highest level of recognition, and it recognizes excellence in care provided in the pre-hospital setting to heart attack patients. Congratulations to the entire San Juan Regional Medical Center EMS team for just a truly tremendous job. And as always, I want to start with some reminders about numbers to call. Our San Juan Regional Medical Center COVID screening line is 505-675-4722, or you may also call the New Mexico Department of Health COVID-19 screening line at 800-600-3453. Also, if you feel you need to come to our emergency department and feel it might be for COVID-related reasons, please call 609-2901. Call in advance so we can be aware you're on the way and make provisions to make sure you, our staff, and others in the emergency department stay safe. A couple of numbers that the state has made available. You see on your screen now, 855-466-7100. That's a statewide mental health crisis line, truly for anyone who is concerned about suicidal thoughts, substance abuse, and other behavioral health issues. This line is open 24/7, 365, and we encourage those who feel they might need some support to reach out. There are resources available, and please seek help when you need it. Additionally, thanks to our state, they've stood up a separate line this week specifically for the healthcare workers and first responders support line for those on the front line battling this COVID-19 pandemic. If you feel you need support, you may call 855-507-5509. We've had, on the next slide, we've had some changes in our external assessment area. Maybe some of you might call it our drive-through testing area. We will have testing next week, none on Monday, but beginning Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. We also ask that you call that screening line at 677-4722. Call that between 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. to speak to a registered nurse to make sure you meet the screening systems to go through the testing line. Next, since the pandemic response started, we'll be having our second blood drive at the hospital. This will happen on both Wednesday and Thursday of next week. On Wednesday, it'll be 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. On Thursday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Vitalent, which formerly is known as United Blood Services, will have 2 bloodmobile units on site in our hospital's main parking lot to take donations. So thank you very much for those of you who come and support the patient care needs in our community with a blood donation. Some updates on our services at San Juan Regional Medical Center. As always, our emergency services remain available 24/7. We have our services segregated into respiratory and non-respiratory sides of the emergency department. Please do not hesitate to seek care if you feel you have an emergent or emergent health care need. We are here to serve and don't want you to feel uncomfortable coming to the hospital. We continue to serve both COVID and non-COVID patients nicely day in and day out. Additionally, we received some word from the state that we can begin to reopen our outpatient elective services, specifically for surgeries, up to 25% of our capacity for outpatient surgeries. We've begun that this week and we'll continue to phase that in this week and the balance of next. And then on Tuesday, we'll begin to open our outpatient clinic services also at 25% of capacity. And I want to make special note to our interventional pain clinic, our spine center. For those with intractable pain, we are now able to reach out and offer therapeutic treatment for those patients. So please reach out to your physicians and call them if you feel you need to be seen. Some interesting news from the state, as Commissioner Crowley mentioned, we are flattening the curve. This next slide shows the rate of spread by region in the state. The Northwest region is that gold or yellow line, and you'll see downward is a good direction, and we are now below the threshold of 1.15 of an effective rate of spread. That's very important news for us in our region as well as statewide. This next slide kind of shows those regions in a little different set out, and if you look at the bottom row, that's the northwest corner, and going right to left, you see how we've progressed over time from a high of 1.31 back on May 5th to now 1.13 earlier this week on May 19th. That's important that we've now met one of the key gating criteria to allow businesses to begin to reopen. There are others, but this was a key one that really shows that we're slowing the rate of spread in our region. Also, this next slide shows kind of the trend rate of the positive cases throughout the state. The dotted blue line on top is the 7-day average for all regions in the state. In the Northwest region, we're again that gold line next underneath it, and you can see that we feel that we passed our peak in terms of the diagnosis of new cases. That's very, very important, and you'll see some important trends if that's truly the peak in the coming weeks, as the rate of hospitalizations and the rate of death in our region should decline. They're lagging indicators, if you will, to the rate of spread. The next slide just shows the percent of positive cases region by region and also county by county. So San Juan County there is that second set of bar, and you'll see that for each of the last 3 weeks we've reduced the percent of positive cases, and that's as a percentage of all patients tested in our community, not just at the hospital but at the public health department and elsewhere also. Moving on to the next slide, you'll see that hospitalization rate still remains very high for the Northwest region, and as the rate of spread slows, we should see our hospitalization rate begin to drop as well. Another key marker as we move forward in getting past the peak in this pandemic. The next slide just shows really an age-specific hospitalization rate, and as we've reported previously, those 55 and over really have a higher risk of hospitalization should they come down with the virus. So wear a mask, protect those vulnerable around you and not only yourself. What's going on at the hospital today? Advancing a couple slides. We had an inpatient census this morning of 125. We had a total of 37 COVID positive patients. That's the lowest number we've had since May 15th. So again, continuing that trend downward. 3 other patients are in a category we call PUIs, or patient under investigation pending test results. A total of 6 intubated patients, 4 of those with a confirmed COVID positive test. That's well within our ICU capacity, that's well within our ventilator capacity, and we are pleased with the trend that's taking. On the next slide, we just kind of show the overall cases that we've admitted to the hospital to date. 241 total. 159 of those have now gone home or to an alternate setting of care. We have had 45 deaths in the hospital, and we still have 37 in-house, as I mentioned earlier. Looking at our trend data, that blue line is our overall census. What I want to call your attention to, it's kind of hard to see, but the purple and green lines kind of really are on top of each other. But that has really leveled off, and we are now seeing a slight downward trend as of the last 2 days. We're watching that very closely. And if you look at the, going way back to mid-April, where the red line was between the green and the purple, if you will, the red line were patients where we were waiting on results. And then you see that take a sharp decrease about the 3rd to 4th week in April, and that marked the time when we were able to get our in-house testing up and running. So we really have very few patients on any given day now awaiting a test result on the inpatient side. So just to wrap it up, Jim, the good news is the percentage of positive cases has decreased. The rate of COVID-19 transmission has also dropped below the target for the northwest region of the state. We still have a high hospitalization rate in our region, but that is expected to trend down if we continue to see a decreased rate of transmission. Again, we encourage you to protect yourself, those around you, wear a mask, wash your hands often, practice social distancing. And as a reminder, our outpatient clinic services and elective surgeries are now beginning to reopen up to 25% of our pre-COVID capacity. And finally, again, if you feel you need emergent or urgent care, please do not hesitate to seek that care. It's vitally important that you access the care you need to keep yourself healthy, regardless of what your ailment might be. So thank you very much, Jim. I'll turn it back to you.
Thanks, Jeff. And joining us from home today is Mayor Duckett.
Everybody, thank you for the opportunity to join you today, Mr. Crowley and Mr. Bourgeois. We appreciate these Friday updates for our community and a lot of really important information that Mr. Bourgeois just covered. The governor reiterated it this week. The numbers are improving for the entire state, and we are certainly seeing those numbers improve here in Northwest New Mexico, which tells me that people are taking this seriously and they're doing the things necessary in their daily habits and their daily practices in social distancing, washing their hands, wearing masks in public places, all the things that Mr. Bourgeois just covered in his conversation. So kudos to everybody in this community for doing the job necessary. Let's keep it up. It takes us one step closer to getting our local businesses, our specialized retailers, our restaurants, our state parks, quality waters, our fishing holes, getting life back to some normalcy here. It is Memorial Day weekend, and it's going to be different, as Mr. Crowley pointed out. It's going to be important for us to take moments with our families, with our friends, and just recognize what exactly Memorial Day is all about. And as Mr. Crowley mentioned, San Juan County has a veterans monument there at the San Juan County offices. We also have All Vets Memorial Park down on the Animas River in the Burke Park area. It is one of the most beautiful parks that I've ever seen. And we have a new monument that's being built this year called the Gold Star Monument in recognition of those individuals who have made that ultimate sacrifice. So take time this weekend with your family and just reflect on the sacrifices that have been made by individuals who have fought for freedom, fought for their brothers and their sisters in the field, and have done so under the flag of America. So to our graduates out there, the 2020 grads, I know this was a big week for you. I just want to thank all the parents and the administrators and the staff who went above and beyond to try and make this a special celebration in a very unique time. We definitely don't want to undersell what you have accomplished. And so please continue forward in your life, whether you're going to trade school, a college, entering the workplace, whatever the case may be. Continue to challenge yourself. And please, as I've said before, let's get you back here to San Juan County. Let's get you back in the city of Farmington. Lots of opportunity exists here for entrepreneurs, for business owners, Let's start challenging the system that we have here and grow this economy the way that we know how to do. So congratulations to the grads. This week, Chief Hebby put out a great message in regards to the governor's the public health order dealing with masks in public. I appreciated Chief Hebby taking that step forward and issuing those comments on that. Again, the governor has not provided any law enforcement, any type of citation to be issued if people don't wear masks. They are asking people to wear a mask as a means of reducing the spread of the virus. Same things we've been doing from the very beginning of this time together as we are trying to mitigate the spread. So what I think is important for us is a community that's been built on a civility first mentality. That means we are respectful of one another. That means we are understanding that we come from different places and we have different opinions and different views on what is and what may not be important to ourselves or other people. But if we're civil to one another and we're respectful to one another, then we're going to take that moment to understand that, look, what I believe may be different than this other person. Maybe this person has a health reason they can't wear a mask. Maybe this person doesn't feel comfortable wearing a mask, or maybe this person only feels comfortable wearing a mask. Whatever the case may be, that is on them in their decision of what they're doing. Do what you need to do for yourself and for those around you. And I think that idea of a social contract, that we're responsible for our actions, but our actions reverberate to the community that we live within, are really important. So just be respectful of one another. Final message. Again, this is a big weekend. It's the first true weekend of summer. Know that we have been in conversations this week with the governor's chief of staff, talking about what summer's going to look like, talking about whether we're going to be opening up Bisti Bay Water Park, opening up the beach for swimming. A lot of these things are being hashed out right now with the Department of Health and the governor's office, and we continue to advocate on your behalf for the safe reopening, responsible reopening of businesses and of these types of facilities. So that is an ongoing conversation, and we're doing it every week. And sometimes multiple times a week. But we do have that weekly phone call with the governor's chief of staff, which gives us a face-to-face opportunity with him to convey our concerns, our thoughts, and the messages that we're receiving from the community. So thank you for what you're doing out there and helping us reduce the spread of the virus and getting San Juan County and Farmington back open and ready to go forward. So keep up the good work. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Thank you for your support, and stay strong, Farmington.
Thanks, Nate. And thank you for joining us again today. Please have a safe Memorial Day weekend, and remember those who gave it all. Until next time, I'm Jim Crowley. Stay well, stay safe, stay home, San Juan County.